It's showtime.
That gives Carl another podcast to check out. Carl, do you think will the Hawk Tua chick have a successful podcast?
No, definitely not. I already have her on my list, though. I just saw that today that she was on a podcast. I think for tomorrow's WATP, we'll be breaking that down a little bit.
Seriously, what should she do? I mean, podcast is just the easy
OnlyFans
thing.
Yeah, OnlyFans, of course.
Except she doesn't want to be known as the Hawk Tua chick. So.
Yeah, can you imagine being a dude and hooking up with her, and then she doesn't do that move? Right?
It's so insulting.
That's the old me. That's the old Hawk Tua girl. I'm now known as missionary.
Are you upset? Are you mad at me? What's going on? You're not spitting at my dick? What's up?
Yeah, what's wrong? You would expect her to do it constantly.
I was thinking about comparing her to the Cash Me Outside girl. She's way cuter than the Cash Me Outside chick.
Yeah.
And the Cash Me Outside chick made $50 million. But she's on OnlyFans. So.
She's more of a personality, though, too, Drew. You got to give it to her.
She does. She's got a better personality. I mean,
character.
Doesn't mean it's a more likable personality, but it's a better personality.
For the internet now, I guess she's perfect. And she has a rap career, too. So, anyway. Carl, I hear Stuttering John going after you. Are you mixed up in the FBI and all this stuff now, too?
All right. So, here's what happened. John had phone calls recorded by Kate Meany, private conversations. Kate Meany was then sending them off to Shuley, and then Shuley played a little bit of a phone call where John used the F slur. And so now John is claiming he's got the FBI involved in this, and they're very serious about it.
3 reports.
Yes, 3 different reports with the FBI, although I think Blind Mike's been added. There's probably another report now because Blind Mike was playing the audio.
Yeah, well, I was surprised Blind Mike played it, by the way, because Blind Mike and I had one thing in common. I don't think either one of us thought this was really that cool that she recorded his calls. Although after his reaction, I felt a little differently about it because he was such a dick.
So I feel the same way. I didn't think that recording the calls was cool, and I definitely didn't think that playing them on your show was cool, but when he decides to get the FBI involved and get everyone arrested and he's suing them, there's lawsuits involved and everything, I said, okay, if you're going to treat it like this, then I got to get in on it. So I went on Joey C's show last night and announced I will be playing excerpts of his phone calls on WATP tomorrow. Now, because I said that, Drew, I got a text message today from one Stuttering John Melendez. I didn't even send my number.
What?
I know. I haven't talked to this guy or had any correspondence in a long time.
I just want to say one thing before you tell us what he texted, and maybe he's more understanding than I had thought, although I doubt it. But anyway, now it's a news story in a way because
the FBI's
it sort of puts it in the public domain because the FBI's involved. Other people have already played it. So I'm not sure you really are throwing yourself into this FBI case.
Well, hold on a second. I have things that haven't been played yet.
Oh, boy. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, so we'll see. Listen, if everyone's going to have a lot of fun in the Dableverse getting sued and getting trips to the FBI headquarters, I want to be a part of it. I don't want to be left out. I got FOMO.
Well, what did John text you?
He said, just a heads up, I'm not lying. I filed with the FBI, and they are taking this matter seriously. If you do intend to play more calls, I will hold you accountable. This is a state and federal crime, a fact.
And as he pointed out, California really takes this very seriously. I guess there've been all kinds of cases in the news, like
Exactly.
There's one thing we know about California, it's prosecuting laws. They love it.
Yeah, you can walk out of a store with $1,000 worth of free shit without paying for it, but you can't make a 2-party call and record it.
Yeah, but remember, John's really famous, so they might move to action.
The FBI knows who I am.
Exactly. He's just that famous. After all, I don't know if you guys know this, he's fucked 3 centerfolds.
Yeah, that's true.
It's pretty important.
So I texted John back a graphic of the boy who cried wolf because he has been claiming that there's lawsuits and arrests happening for years now. I'm not buying it.
Carl, I heard him say, I can't believe people are saying that I don't follow up on what I say I'm going to do. He actually said that.
He goes,
follows
if I
up on
say
nothing.
it's going to happen.
So did you bring some John clips today?
I did, actually. If you want to start my clip number 11, Mark, this is where he lawsuits. And this is where I get very excited.
Soon you're going to be hiding your numbers just like your fucking buddy Lady K, the anti-Semitic defender. Yeah, I'm going to play that clip. Thank you, Beer Can Sales Jerry. I got a lot to play. I got my people working on a lot of clips. And don't worry, I sent a certain institution the clips of the Kate Meany phone calls, illegally recorded, and now being used by the shitware and Rocco Burrow, and they will be cited in the lawsuit. I got a New York attorney now. I got a New York attorney.
Okay.
And he also Carl, he
By the
calls.
way, is that hard to hire a New York attorney?
Yeah, I don't think
That's
there
where
are
he
very
is
many.
right now. He's in New York.
It's not that hard to hire an attorney.
He also calls your parents too. That's the other thing, Carl. You can expect your parents to get a phone call.
That's true. That's what he's been doing lately. Is he's calling everyone's mom and dad to tell on them.
Yes.
And so I'll that'll be a fun thing for us when my mom gets a phone call from John.
I thought it was really powerful the other day when he put up a giant picture of Rocco Burrow's mom and then walked out of the picture so you could get a better shot of his mom. Because
Except
she's
for,
now,
except for it was a photo with like 8 different people in it.
That's
he's
true.
Like, he's like, this is Rocco's, this is Tuki's mom. And then he gets up and you're like, which one? I don't even know. Okay.
I know. I didn't know what Tukey looked like, so I wasn't sure. There was like 5 women in the picture.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. But that's what John likes to do is he wants to threaten you with lawsuits and getting arrested on a federal level, which seems pretty serious, but then also tattletale to your mom, which seems way less serious. We're all in our 40s, so it's kind of weird.
Ah, boy. Well, you got
right.
you got some more cuts?
I do. So you heard right there, John's got some clips, and Vegas beer sales Jerry sent him some clips. And so what's funny about John, he can't prepare for his own show. He never will prepare anything for his own show. So you see him actually go into his email, and his buddy sends him the link to my YouTube video with the timestamp and says, go scrub to this part, and that's where you'll see the stuff. So John goes on there. If you look at my clip number 12, John explains that, thank God he's got a thick skin for this kind of thing.
A man of thinner skin would not be able to handle the onslaught of attacks that me and my family get. But I can. I can.
Family and
Don't you worry about it. I'm a fighter, man. I get knocked down, but I get up again. No one's ever going to keep me down. I got knocked down, but I get up again. No one's ever going to keep me down.
I'll get another song out of
Don't
it.
give a shit. But Sorcerer, I do like that you cared. Mr. Kill Everything, I don't know what your problem is with me, but every Saturday, you amp it up. What the fuck did I ever do to you? I mean, I don't even bring you up. Where's all the attacks coming from? You just got to join the anti-Stuttering John bandwagon?
Now, did he start that clip? I didn't edit that at all. Did he start that clip saying he doesn't care? He's got a thick skin. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I kind of lost my place there because I just noticed that John's looks like he's going bald, really fast.
Oh, yeah, that really pissed him off. I posted a video where we really analyzed his balding, and it's not good.
Is there a clip for that? Because I know John has got to be denying that he's going bald.
Oh, you got to look at our YouTube page. It's one of the more recent ones. If you want to just pull up the thumbnail for it, if you look at
I saw
British
it.
Podcast YouTube page, I really zoomed in because he got a really bad hair dye job
Yes.
again.
Yeah.
And so it's very obvious that it's thinning. It's thinning rapidly too. It's bad.
I saw that picture and I thought, oh my God, I can't wait to hear John's excuse. And I was predicting he would say, my hairline is normal for someone of my age. Or something like that.
He did say something like that. Yes, he did. He
Okay.
did respond to it. So,
That's not the thumbnail, but is that a good representation of it?
well, when he puts, yes, it is. But when he puts his head down, and you could really see into what's, yeah, there we go. That's a good representation.
Wow.
You can see a lot of scalp. I mean, for somebody who's lost a lot of hair, I know how that feels. And to tell people that it's not happening is just really not a good idea. It's,
There's another one.
it's too easily provable. Look at that. Oh my God. His hair really is falling out fast.
It's very thin. It's thinned out quite a bit. It might be stress related.
Carl, I think you should find some time-elapsed, like some old photos, do a time-elapse of John balding, because there's pictures of back in the day where he's got a giant head of hair.
He was a rock star. I know.
Yeah, in fact, he kept whipping it when he was on Conan. Do you remember that?
Do you guys remember when we were doing the live show at the Magic Bag? We back there October 25th, themagicbag.com for tickets. When we were on there and John was playing guitar on Conan and we made fun of him. And then after that, he made an excuse that his hair was so long, it interfered with his guitar playing.
That's right.
Geez. He's got
That's
such
how long
thick, he's got
and
such
luscious
thick
his hair
skin.
used to be.
Yeah.
But when he was in the chair, he kept doing this and kind of playing with his hair. It's like, oh my God, he was so in love with his hair. This has got to be killing him.
He was a pretty girl back then. All right, so if you want to go to my clip 13, so you just heard him talking about how Mr. Kill Everything is now bashing John. And if you're wondering who these people are, none of it matters. He was actually at our show at the Magic Bag, him and his wife last year. But these are just like people who watch these shows and super chat and stuff. This is John's entire world now. He's just dealing with people, you don't even know who they are. They're just on the internet. And John, he understands why Mr. Kill Everything is goofing on him, or does he?
I mean, I get it. I'm a success. I've done everything I ever wanted to do. I get it. I understand. But really? You got to join the onslaught? I don't get it. I just don't get it.
What is with this production value now, by the way?
Thank you. I put that together.
Oh, you did that. Okay. I love it. I love it. It's great. There's graphics. I should have known better to think John could figure that out.
I wanted to mention something. I should have said this when you were talking about the recordings of John's call with Kate Meany, or calls. When John said he was doing integrity checks when he told her that he wanted cocaine or whatever, shouldn't he have told her like that he had 160 at-bats with the New York Yankees, or he was third in line to the throne in some country, Estonia? I mean, shouldn't he have said good things about himself for an integrity check?
Yeah, why negative things?
Well, what you would say, so if John, he claims he has these integrity checks where he tells lies, and then if those lies come out somewhere, people on Reddit are talking about it, or me or Shuli are talking about it, then he knows who's the source is, who's leaking out information, and he can't trust them anymore.
But you don't want someone saying that you asked him to bring 2 8-balls to a wedding.
Yeah.
That's not a good integrity check.
What you would say is, MSNBC has reached out to me, and I might get my own political show on the network. That's something you would say, because then it's just like, can you believe John might be on MSNBC? Like, that would be like a cool thing.
Although it's got to be believable. Like, no one would believe that, but they would believe the 8 balls.
But this is Kate Meany. She doesn't, I mean, I'm not saying Kate's an idiot or anything, but what if he said the Mets signed me when I was 19 and I only lasted 1 season? I mean, you know, that's a nice integrity check.
Or that I was an integral part of the Tonight Show.
Cardiff Electric, who is a floating potato on the internet, convinced John that he pitched inning and a third for the Pirates in 1998. John believed that. So yeah, you could definitely get away with something like that.
Was that an integrity check by Cardiff Electric?
I think so. Oh,
hello.
That was back when they were buddies, John and Cardiff.
All right. Any more John cuts?
Yeah, so you guys have talked about this, and what John's been doing now recently is he's going to everyone's house.
Yeah.
So he wants to hash it out with all of us. So he stopped by Patrick Melton's house, who hosts a show called Nobody Likes Onions out of Las Vegas, when he was going through Las Vegas. And then he recently went to Kevin Brennan's apartment building and talked to the doorman when Kevin wasn't home.
Can I stop you for a second?
Yeah.
Some people are saying that John recorded him with only one-party consent, the doorman.
I would agree, although is New Jersey a one-party state? I think it is.
Oh, okay.
I think he was in New Jersey. I don't
So
know.
John was within the law.
Yeah, he's sure he's not
The funny thing
stupid.
about that, and it's on my most recent episode, is that John's all proud of himself that the doorman recognized him. But this is the way it went out, because you heard it on the audio. John goes, all right, you tell Kevin Brennan when you see him again that Stuttering John was here. And the guy goes, who's Stuttering John? He goes, I'm Stuttering John. He goes, oh, I know you from the Howard Stern show. He didn't even recognize the guy.
Oh, it's because he's balding.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Someone in the Dabbleverse, please. There needs to be a time-elapsed series of pictures of John losing his hair.
Great idea.
Kill him.
All right, so as I mentioned, he's going to be going down to Alabama on his way to Florida to stop by Shuli's house. But now a new person is getting thrown into the mix. Now, when he says the name Pocky, he's referring to Anthony Cumia from the Opie and Anthony show. And Anthony recently moved down to South Carolina.
Yes, that's right.
You are a high school dropout. You haven't even gone to college. You haven't. The only thing that you were able to do was glom off of Opie and have Opie
please.
carry your fucking white pop-filled ass all along the way and gave you a job. Without Opie, you'd be nothing. And that's a fact, Jack. You want to come after me, Pocky? Maybe I'll make a little trip to South Carolina. It's on the way. Maybe I'll do that. See how fucking tough you are when you're facing the Duke in person.
The Duke.
Duke.
Oh my God, that is so funny. That Opie carried Anthony.
He went on to say that Compound Media is a failure. He can't do anything without Opie. Compound Media was a company that Anthony started and ran for 10 years. It just merged with Censor.tv, which is Gavin McGinnis's company. So it's still going. They just merged with another network.
I think Anthony should compare W-2s over the last 10 years with John. I mean, just so it doesn't embarrass him too much, but just since Compound Media started, I bet Anthony's made 60 times what John's made.
Oh, at least. It's insane to even say this kind of stuff. Did you guys see where John got busted? He was trying to prove that he made a lot of money when he was a substitute teacher in 2021. This is nuts. I couldn't believe this happened. So they have Transparent California is the name of the website. And you can go on there, and if it's a public servant, you can find out how much money they made. And so John pulled up John E. Melendez from California and showed that John E. Melendez made $85,000, including benefits and things like that. And he showed that on his show, and he goes, "See, guys, I made $85,000 substitute teaching in 2021." So someone looked up the school district that was attached to it. It's a totally different John Melendez who teaches Spanish. I was just totally lying to everyone. It's insane.
Stolen valor.
So,
asshole.
Can someone look up the real John Melendez?
Yeah, we have looked him up. He made $8,700 substitute teaching in 2021.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, it's not even close to 85,000.
Didn't he say he was making like $8,000 a month or something?
Yes, and he also claimed he was making over $100,000 a year substitute teaching. The guy can't stop lying.
Wow.
Nonstop.
I can't believe he did that. You know, for him to think that nobody would check is insane at this point.
It's shocking to me, but he does think that everyone's as dumb as he is. That's one of the traits that I find fascinating. I like that about him. So the fact that he's going to go to Anthony Cumia's house, if you know anything about Anthony, he's really into guns.
He's armed, yes. Yeah.
The last thing I would do is drive up to that house thinking I'm going to fight someone in that household. But this fight gets way more childish. My clip number 15, you can't believe this is a grown man.
You fucking, I'm a fucking idiot, Pocky. I will I'll fucking kick your ass in any test of academics, whether it be IQ, whether it be fucking C-Best, C-Set, you name it. Real estate exam, you will not beat me at anything. You'll certainly not beat these.
Exam.
So don't even think you can, because you can't. You most certainly can't.
Wait, I already offered him $2,500 to take an IQ test against Anthony, and he wouldn't do it.
No, he won't do it. But he likes to say that at the end there, if you're listening to the show, he pointed to his bicep when he said, "I could take care of you this way too." So John's ready to fight him. He's ready to do an IQ test. He's ready to do the substitute teaching exam in California, the CBEST, for some reason. He said the realtor thing because John did pass his realtor exam to get his license in California when he was out of show business.
Well, he's putting it to good use, too.
That substitute teacher's test, Carl, you read a couple of the questions. It's simple.
It's the most simple thing ever. It's crazy.
Didn't he
And he's
also
like-
say that he aced it?
Yeah, it's a pass or fail. It's like, did you pass or not? You know, ace CBEST test. But the fact that he says that nobody else in the Dabbleverse could even pass this test, I read some of the sample questions on my show. It is simple. You have to be stupid to not be able to do it. Now, he does fight with me. This is yesterday's episode, by the way. He does fight with me a little bit. And he makes some good points in my clip number 16.
Okay.
Lady K, I'm not stupid. You are.
Oh, yeah. No, you're stupid. I'm not stupid. You're stupid, John.
Lady K, I'm not stupid. You are.
No. You're the
Lady
one who's
K,
stupid.
I'm not stupid.
No, I'm
You
not
are.
stupid. You're stupid.
I'm rubber, you're glue.
I'm not stupid. You are.
It's outrageous.
Everything you say bounces off me and sticks to you, Lady
I'm
K.
not stupid. You are.
Wow.
John was watching clips of my show where I was calling him an idiot, and he gets very upset with that. He's just like, "Oh, I'm not an idiot. You're an idiot." And so,
I'm not stupid. You are.
clip number 17, he's responding to me calling him an idiot. And watch closely. Something comes flying out of his mouth
Well, I
very
gotta
quickly.
say, the still of the beginning is just fucking great. He's got like a duck lip, open mouth duck lip.
Who's the idiot, Lady K? You are. You are.
Ooh, gross.
I slowed that down to 20% time, and it still is flying out of that thing.
Wow. Well, can we get a speed gun on that?
Yeah, hang on.
Yeah,
I'm trying
seriously.
to. Let's see if I can slow
I
it.
get velocity on that one. 102?
Yeah, that thing is flying.
Oh, there it is too. You see it in front of his shirt? Gross.
Carl, I don't want to disrupt the momentum here because there's plenty of it going, but is there a status report on the keychains?
Yeah, the keychains have not come in yet.
Oh, what?
I know. Can you believe it?
Still
What are
on
the
back
chances?
order, huh?
I can't believe how inept FedEx is. That's terrible.
But I want to point this out. Since we saw that things are always flying out of his mouth or out of his nose or whatever,
yeah.
out of his head, the cushion that he used to sit on when he was living in Canoga Park, the couch cushion, has been confiscated as being shipped to DabbleCon.
Oh,
So
right.
we'll be able to see the remnants of what's going on when
a
he was
black
sitting
light
and
to
doing
it.
his show. And John also was claiming he's going to come to DabbleCon. So I thought the biggest celebrity there was going to be John's couch cushion, but apparently it's going to be John himself.
Yeah, I'm thinking that maybe somebody should put a call in to, do we know who his previous landlord was? Because I'd like to know if they had, or maybe if we put in a complaint about somebody leaving all their crap out in front of their place a month ago or 3 weeks ago, if they would have any comment on that? Because that couldn't be cool, right?
The landlord did complain about John because he's yelling from his apartment every day.
yeah.
And so the neighbors were like, can we tell this guy to stop screaming to his computer every day?
Oh, when he's yelling at you in the shitware.
Shit, way.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that I'm concerned about with John, because the only way he's making money right now is by reading insulting super chats, as we all know. If he were to lose his YouTube channel, lose his income source. And what he's doing is he's threatening everybody in the Dabbleverse with violence. And I think that's against YouTube's terms of service. I don't know. I think it might be. So my last clip on here for John is clip number 18, where he threatens to come beat us all up at DabbleCon. And you tell me if he's threatening violence or not. I don't know.
Right, Lady K? You fucking Marihuasa. Oh, I hope to see you at DabbleCon. Marihuasa. I'm gonna, oh my God. Yeah,
Why
I might be coming.
He's
That's right. I got a few scores to settle. A few people I need to talk to. And you are one of them, Lady K. You are one of them with those skinny chicken legs. And don't you worry, Lady K. If I say I'm going to do something, I will. If I said it, it must be so.
Since when?
That's right. I might roll on into Rochester with my posse. That's right, Lady K. So you better fucking bring those nice little bloops pair of socks.
What?
Your summer wear with those skinny fucking legs. Oh, the look of fear you're going to have in your eyes.
I already do, John. I'm already nervous.
oh man.
The
legs are
look
shaking.
of fucking fear when you see the Duke and you have nowhere to run and you're going to have to talk to the Duke. You're going to have to deal with the wrath of the Duke. And don't you worry, Pocky. Are you going to be there too?
Yes.
Oh, this is
Anthony
going to
will
be a
there.
free-for-all.
On you.
This is going to be a free-for-all. Don't worry, man. I don't have any fear. I don't fear.
Not even the fear of losing your hair?
I
Because
thought-
it looks really thin in
Yeah,
that
it is
shot.
really looking thin. I thought he wasn't thin-skinned.
He's thin
Right.
haired.
I know. Now he's settle our hash all of a sudden. I don't understand how that all came
It's
to
like
be.
a
He wants to beat us all
WWE
up.
promo. It's like, listen, brother, at SummerSlam, I'm gonna break you.
I'm not stupid. You are.
I also love the fact that he goes, if I say I'm going to do something, you better believe I'm going to do it. And I might come to DappleCon. Like, okay. Doesn't mean anything.
He just might do it.
But for the people who are listening to the show, you heard him like making the fist and punching his hand.
Yeah, it was powerful.
But am I crazy? Is that a threat of violence? I feel like it might be.
Yeah, I think he's basically threatened everyone in the Dabbleverse at this point.
Said it was a free for all.
I like that he thinks it's going to be John Wick. He's just going to come in there. There's 300 people trying to get him, and he's going to get them all. Like, I stashed a gun over here, and I got another knife over here. Like, okay, John.
But he runs out of breath so easily. I've heard him panting and doing a show just when he goes to the bathroom or something, and he comes back, and then he's what, like 5'5"? He's a fat fuck, and he's bald.
Hey, Drew, this is just between me and you. If you guys want to cut this out of the show, I'm not scared.
Yeah, but are you stupid? Because
I'm not stupid. You are.
No, I'm not stupid. You're stupid.
childish. He's
Unbelievable.
such a
It's so
fucking
dumb.
kid.
It sounds like Trump and Biden.
Oh,
You're the worst president.
What's your
No,
handicap?
you're the worst
6?
president.
I'm a 4.
Yeah,
How far can you hit the ball?
these things
Joe's
matter.
handicap changed in 5 seconds. I'm a 6 handicap. I'm an 8 handicap. No, that was bizarre.
Also, isn't it bad to get really good at golf while you're the vice president of the United States? That was kind of a weird flex that he had. Yeah, well, back when I was vice president, I got my handicap down to a 6. Shouldn't he have been working?
Yeah.
A little bit?
Yeah, but we all know vice presidents don't do shit.
Yeah,
He's the
that's
worst
true.
president in the history of our
Thankfully.
country.
It's not really the time to be bragging that your handicap was at its lowest, though. It just sounds bad.
Gives a
Yeah,
shit anyway.
It's like we're the ones paying his salary while he's out on the golf course all this time. And plus, he's got to answer the phone when his son calls with the business deals to intimidate the business partners. So you got that, too.
Yeah, where's Hunter with the blow when he really needs it?
Right? He's not breaking out anymore, apparently. All right, so speaking of childish behavior, I checked in on the latest episode of Two Bears, One Cave. Of course, this is Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura, and they had Jimmy Kimmel on the show. And so I want to play for you. We're going to build to this, but the fans of Two Bears, One Cave do not like Jimmy Kimmel. And
No.
we'll explain why. We'll get into it. They try to figure it out themselves. But let's start off with reminding everyone just how annoying Bert is. So my clip number 1, this is just Bert's stupid laugh.
Until he wound up, it was like 40 days in, and he had pink eye in both eyes. Oh my God. And we've never laughed harder.
That is gnarly, dude.
Oh, yeah.
There was a time.
That's so weird.
Can you imagine you're cracking up so hard you're making a noise that goes, and then you immediately turn off and go, yeah, so anyway, I was talking to my buddy the other day. And
No, it's totally fake.
yeah,
Totally
it's fake. And let's not forget that not only is Bert annoying to listen to, he also asks the dumbest questions you could possibly ask someone in my clip number 2.
But no, not really.
Damn, you were great on that.
Yeah, why are you so good?
Yeah.
Because you're so like you can tell when you can tell that
That's a wonderful question. I appreciate it. I don't want to run past it.
but no, but like you're so effortlessly funny.
Why are you so good? That's a great question.
Carl, did you catch the part when Tom said that he had known Bert for 20 years? And he was talking about his sister, and he said, after 20 years, Bert says, "You have a sister?" And Tom said, "Yeah, I have 2 sisters."
Yeah.
Well, why don't you ever talk about them?
Yeah,
20
they were talking about the fact that they were traveling. They were in the car together for many, many hours. And at the end of the trip, Bert goes to Tom. He's like, man, you really don't talk very much. He goes, I couldn't get a word in. All
Yeah.
you did was talk about yourself the entire time.
And then the other thing was he told the story about his sister is the funniest person in the family. Did you hear that?
Oh, yeah, of course. Because that was after that dumb question where Jimmy Kimmel goes, well, my whole family is funny, which makes sense coming from Jimmy Kimmel. He puts his family on his shows, so you know he thinks they're funny. But when Bert goes, oh, yeah, same here. I'm the least funny person in my family. My sister's the funniest person.
God.
But the example he gave was when she had a spell correct and it sent out a funny message, which really was just her not being funny, but rather not checking her message. It wasn't funny.
Yeah.
And Kimmel even pointed it out.
She sent out an email her first day of work at Fox Studios or something to 150 people, and the spell check changed everything to the Jew. So it was like, the Jew wants me to do this, and I hope the Jew will blah, 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 blah. So it was just like, well, that doesn't make her funny. It makes her bad at her job.
Yeah. And Jimmy pointed it out. It was just, and he said, first of all, Bert said, no, I don't want to tell a story. And then he tells the story, and then the story didn't even make sense.
Doesn't make any sense at all. All right. Bert also has a weird thing with hot guys. This has been an ongoing thing with Bert. I don't know if he thinks this is funny or what the deal is, but my clip number 3 talks about hot athletes and how hot they are.
Yeah, I remember him drooling all over Shaq recently.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, I would love, like, I would roofie out athletes just to look at their bodies. You ever met T.O.?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, his back, it's like a deformity. He's got lats that protrude like fucking hard dicks on the back of his. I mean, it's fucking massive.
It's like there's other dicks on him.
Yeah. He's got to have a hog.
Yeah.
Do you have to roofie athletes to see their bodies? I mean, we see them all the time when they're performing.
This guy must be lousy with roofies if he's using them for that.
Yeah, exactly. It's a waste of roofie.
I would think so.
I think he thinks this is funny because remember they did a whole show on guys Bert wants to fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, so obviously he thinks gay sex is hilarious. Let's remind everyone how annoying Bert is. This is clip number 4. This is where he's squealing.
So he pulls out his book and he's like, this is my new book or whatever. And I said, there's some really erotic gay stuff in there. And he was saying, everybody laughed at him and he was pissed off at me. But I was more pissed off at him for fucking our bit.
What?
And everyone just is used to it now for some reason, so no one addresses it. They're just like, all right, this is what he does.
That laugh is so ridiculous.
Said, there's some really erotic gay stuff in there. And he was saying, everybody laughed at him and he was pissed off at me. But I was more pissed off at him for fucking our bit.
Oh my God.
Oh, jeez.
Brutal.
All right, a couple more examples of how Bert sucks, and then we'll get into the Jimmy Kimmel stuff. So Jimmy Kimmel, when he started his late night show, if you guys remember, he was the only one doing it live. And so he was on the West Coast, so I think his show started at 9, something like that. And they had a bar for all the guests and the employees, and there was this big bar people would hang out at. And so Jimmy's talking about that, and Bert goes, oh, yeah, I totally remember that. Listen to the way Bert explains his first appearance on Jimmy's show.
Yeah, we still have the bar. The bar is
But
kind
no one
of
parties there. Like I did your show. Probably, I don't know. I couldn't even tell you what year it was, but it had to be before I had kids. It was before I had kids. It would be the 2003 or 2. I did stand up on your show. I fucking murdered. I did such a good set. I did such a good set, and then went back to that bar and drank pretty much by myself.
Jeez.
Oof. You murdered, huh?
Could you imagine explaining to a guy who was there how great you were on their show? Like, let Jimmy say that. You don't need to say that.
It didn't add that much to the story that he went to the bar alone either. I mean, there's a bar.
Correct.
Went
He
there
just wanted
alone.
to talk about drinking a lot, which is like, no, we know that, Bert.
Yeah, he just
the thing I
wanted-
don't believe is that you killed
Yeah.
the show.
I mean,
That's the
that's-
part I don't understand.
Not only that, what was the rest of the story that Jimmy was going to tell about the bar? I mean, it sounded like he
Well-
was about to tell a story there.
Yes, and he does get into it. He explains that when they had the bar, it was bad because after every show, all the employees would go get sloshed. And then he would get up and come to work the next day to figure out the next show, and he was the only one there. Everyone was hungover and late to work. So I don't know if that worked out. Maybe that's why Letterman didn't have that.
Yeah.
One more example of Bert just making things about him. So they have a discussion about rumors that went around before the internet. They're talking about things that were viral before the internet. And of course, we all know about Richard Gere and Rod Stewart. For whatever reason, these two rumors just spread like wildfire. Now, this could be a fun conversation to have, but Bert makes it about himself for no reason at all.
most young people probably don't even know. So tell what that rumor was.
It was rumored that Richard Gere had to go to the hospital because he had a gerbil stuck in his ass.
This is something that everybody said.
And Rod Stewart had to have his stomach pumped because it was full of horse cum.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Remember that
those
one?
are
Yes.
real. I remember where I was when I heard that. I was on North Boulevard driving by our old fucking house, and they're like, you know, that happened. And I was like, shut the fuck up.
I love that story.
What?
Wait a second.
What?
I got to stop here. Was it horse cum? I thought
Yeah.
I thought he blew the USC football team.
You know, it's funny, Drew. I've always heard you say that, but I've never heard it that way from anyone but you.
Really?
Yeah.
It was Rod Stewart blew a horse?
Well, that's what that it was full of what I think it was always a quart too, was the measurement of jizz that was inside him, and that he had to have his stomach pumped. But you came up with the USC team, and
Well, I thought that it was kind of that he blew a couple porn stars or something, or he blew enough guys that his stomach was overwhelmed by it.
Where were you when you
It's a
heard that
telephone
story?
game. You were in Chicago.
Yeah.
By the time we got out to Vegas,
Yeah.
it was horse cum.
But I feel like a horse ruins it because he's not going to blow a horse.
you don't know what his kink is. Don't kink shame him. Maybe he's into horses.
I don't know.
Rachel Hunter confirmed it too.
Yeah, Rachel Hunt, she did. That's right.
Well,
That was the first thing we asked her.
She confirmed that she knew about the rumor.
I thought it was funny that Jimmy Kimmel, and he would probably know, said that Richard Gere doesn't have a great sense of humor about this rumor, so maybe he did have a gerbil up his ass.
I remember when I was growing up, all the girls had New Kids on the Block posters in their lockers and stuff. And so us guys were a little jelly of that. And I remember the rumor was, I can't remember which one, but one of the guys had their stomach pumped with guy's semen in it. Which I didn't know you could get your stomach pumped.
Probably Jonathan.
Well, speaking of semen, there's the famous Ace Frehley line when the car skidded, and he said skidded on gay cum. I always thought that was very interesting.
Slippery.
Also,
very slippery.
part of that conversation was about the farting preacher video cassette. And I remember we had one at WRIF, and I swear it must have been recorded 50 generations. It was so out of
Robert
focus.
Tilton, I believe, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it'd been recorded, and it was really not a very good recording. But that thing must have gone everywhere.
Yeah, and thankfully YouTube has it immortalized.
But Drew, when I first saw that videotape, I was at my house that was on Adams Street, and I remember I was with my buddy. I was like, "Whoa, did you see that thing?" And he's like, "What?
No way!
What was the point of that story?" I added nothing.
Bert he's so
Bert.
stupid.
Bert also.
I'm not stupid. You are.
I don't know if you have a
What?
cut for
No,
this.
You're stupid. Fuck you, John. I'm not stupid. You're stupid.
What about Bert bringing up Pam and Tommy, or somebody brought him up that he, him steering the boat with his dick and all that, and then Bert, I don't know if you're going to play that clip, but Bert says, "Oh, by the way, I was talking to Tommy and I found out that I always thought that that was on a lake, like Lake Havasus. They were on the ocean when that happened."
What's
like,
the
what?
difference?
He's steering a boat with his dick. I think that's more important than where the fucking boat
Was
was.
he really steering the boat with his dick, or didn't he press the horn
Yeah,
with
he was
his
honking the horn.
You're right. He pressed the horn.
Stickler for facts.
Yes, you're right.
It's ridiculous.
100%.
All right, let's get into. Jimmy Kimmel brings up the fact that the fans of Two Bears, One Cave do not like him at all. My clip number 6, he brings this up, and this is after Bert was talking about all the shit that he got for the Tom Brady roast. So he's talking about, he goes, "How did the Brady roast go for it?" And they're like, "Whoa, not good." And so this kind of segues into this conversation.
It's rare that I feel like wounded by something that I see online, but the last time I felt very wounded was after I went to your guys' show and you guys posted some pictures with me, and all your fans fucking hate me.
No, that's
I'm sure you noticed. I mean, it was so overwhelming.
I definitely noticed.
You must have noticed.
I said, "Tom, have you posted your pictures yet?" I take the ones at Kimmel out.
That would probably be wise.
there's this group amongst fans that are always the loudest.
Yeah, I know. It's only
Yeah.
like 95, 90, 98%.
Yeah.
Now, Carl, did you catch why Tom thinks there's all this hate for Jimmy Kimmel?
Yeah, we're going to get into that, but can I point out real quick, and I don't know if you guys are going to agree with me, but are they doppelgangers, Jimmy Kimmel and Mark Fellhauer?
Uh-oh.
They sound the same, they look the same.
What?
I think that it didn't used to be that way.
I'm a lot fatter, I'll tell you that much.
Maybe, I don't know. You guys look every time I was clipping this, I was just like, holy shit, Jimmy has turned into Mark.
Oh, man.
There is a little bit of
That
an
means
audio.
their fans are going to hate me, Birds.
They might. Watch out.
Yeah, don't worry about it. By the way, I did write down some of the comments because the comments already, people are just so brutal to that show. Like people come on and we'll just tell you about here for the hate. And then one guy says, it's gotten to the point where there are people paying an additional $1.99 to talk shit in a members only section. Here to see how many people hate Jimmy Kimmel. COVID puppet. First Burt interruption is less than a minute in. 2 comedians and 1 Democratic Party activist. Pallets of hate for Jimmy Kimmel. I never thought I would see the day where Burt would take second place in the hate comments.
Yeah. What's so funny about this, because we've documented on this show Tom Segura getting a lot of hate over the years for calling out his fans as poors and things like that. Burt Kreischer has obviously been very annoying and people started hating him. But Jimmy Kimmel, they hate Jimmy Kimmel even more. So in my clip number 7, they try to figure out why they hate Jimmy Kimmel. Let's see if they can figure this out.
Is it that fucking hard?
But they always, the people.
Well, there's an idea, I think, that like somehow I betrayed this group of men that in comedy. Like somehow I was the man. But I was always exactly like this. Exactly, always.
Yeah. But you realize
like the
that
content of the show was different. But
that hate, a hate that goes your way is because you like stood up for like healthcare. Like they're just mad that you actually used your platform for something good that offends them. For
I don't
whatever.
know if it's that. I think it's. I think it is.
You've busted Trump's balls.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. But I think
Part of it?
Usually people like busting balls in general, whatever it is. But
All right, so we'll pick up from there in a minute. But I wanted to point something out here because if you guys remember, busting balls, he's just like, oh yeah, people like busting balls, busting Trump's balls. But remember when Aaron Rodgers was busting his balls? And he said it was
not like that.
going to ruin his family and he needed to sue him for defamation. It was very different.
Yeah, very, very different. And also, Jimmy says, his sense of humor has always been the same, except that now he makes, 50% of the jokes on his show are about one person who is in one political party. Why is that so hard? Because he said, I think that's part of it. No, that's all of it. It has nothing to do with him standing up for his kids' medical problem. That's ridiculous.
I think it's interesting what he said there. He's like, I haven't changed, but the content has. Well, I mean, to a viewer, the content is you. I mean, it is the Jimmy Kimmel show. So I think it's fair to judge you based on the content that you're producing when the Man Show is so vastly different from the show he's doing now, Jimmy Kimmel Live. I mean, it's called Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Well, also, I don't think he is Carl Malone in skits anymore on the Jimmy Kimmel show. I think a lot of things have changed.
Or Oprah.
But one of the bigger problems he has, and we'll get into him being preachy about the Me Too movement and everything, all the other reasons why people are like, fuck this guy. The biggest problem, in my opinion, because I loved The Man Show, I followed both of those guys' careers before and after The Man Show, is that Adam Carolla never went Hollywood, and Jimmy Kimmel did. And I think that's part of the problem is that people watch and they go, oh, I love those two guys from The Man Show. They're both so quick and funny and they had all these great skits and all this stuff. And then you're just like, well, Adam's still that guy. What happened to Jimmy? What's he doing?
Yeah, it's a good point.
Adam is. Although Adam has gone a lot in the other direction. He's gone really far, but I think that's Adam. I mean, I do. I don't think Adam is playing for anything because they can't be helping Adam in Hollywood.
Honestly, Adam's not even that far right. He's just far right for Hollywood.
Well, I mean, wait. So, Drew, do you think Kimmel's doing that on purpose then to be more Hollywood, or do you think that's just kind of where he has gone because of what he does?
Well, hard for me to say, but when Jimmy says something like he says on this show, and maybe you have the clip, Carl, where Jimmy says, "Oh my God, I'm a comedian. I find anything funny. I haven't changed in that respect." And it's like, no, there's one thing you don't find funny. Did you have that clip, Carl?
Yeah, so clip number 8, people saying they became Hollywood. But what they do here, and we'll explain it, but they act like they don't understand why people wouldn't like Jimmy Kimmel. They make up reasons.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, for a
I
while.
think what it is there's this idea that I somehow made an adjustment in order to be part of Hollywood or something.
Yeah.
Which is just really not true. And also that I have some level of like political correctness. And well, obviously there are things I care about and whatever, but when it comes to comedy, I don't care what anybody does. I mean, I've never criticized another comic for what they never.
So but you think that hatred for you is Illuminati based, like that you have.
They think I'm in the Illuminati?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's even that deep.
No,
Why
it
does
definitely
Tom-
isn't. This is what's so enraging about this, because it never gets brought up on this episode, is that why do we know who Bert and Tom are? Because of a guy named Joe
Rogan.
Okay.
Yes.
And what was Jimmy Kimmel saying during COVID?
That he was
saying
taking
that if you don't get vaccinated, you don't deserve health care treatment.
Yes.
And go ahead and if you're an anti-vaxxer or you didn't get vaccinated and you used horse paste, then you should die. And that's what people look at him and they're just like, fuck you. What the hell is going on right now, Jimmy? You used to be cool.
Yeah, he also said he made a joke about Joe Rogan recovering from COVID taking horse tranquilizer. I saw it myself and I was like, oh, God, please, really? But
So the fact that these guys are sitting around going, is it because he just became too Hollywood? Is that what the problem is? It's like, no. Like, he literally, if you're a fan of Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer because you discovered them through Joe Rogan, you're not going to like a guy like Jimmy Kimmel because he was saying all the opposite. He was super pro-establishment and big pharma during all of COVID, which we've all found has been pretty ridiculous at this point.
no, I think he and Howard got hurt badly by COVID. And to not even bring that up is pretty ridiculous. And also those guys, they were launched by Joe Rogan. So I guess they're not going to stand up for Rogan, not to Jimmy Kimmel anyway.
And he was like, as far as the Me Too movement goes, he was one of these guys out there championing like, women in the workplace are being harassed and isn't it awful? And then you go back and you look at the old Man Show bits and he's literally harassing women nonstop on there, which is fine, but it's like, don't act like you're the same guy. You're not.
Yeah, part of my problem with the Me Too movement was it was implied that, oh my God, what's going on with Harvey Weinstein and Les Moonves and all these people? It's going on everywhere. It's like, no, we don't really have that going on in our lives. People don't really do that. They don't have the power to do that, and they don't.
Right.
But out there, Hollywood does not really apply to us. So that's why I think people get so irritated when Hollywood thinks they can tell us how to think and what to do. It's a different
also,
world.
wasn't it Matt Damon who's like, there's a difference between like raping a woman and
Squeezing her ass.
yeah, right. And they'd be like, no, there isn't. You're an asshole. Like, okay, my bad. Never mind. Everything's horrible.
No,
but you're right. There's no casting couches in marketing. I used to be in marketing all my life. We didn't have casting couches.
No, Matt Damon actually apologized for saying that. Fucking
Insane.
stupid.
All right, I have one more clip on here. And so they're talking about guys who do change and why they would. And I guess Daniel Tosh came out and said, yeah, of course I'm changing. I'm better than I used to be, which, is a good way. I remember James Hetfield from Metallica when they were saying, like, you guys are sellouts. Like, yeah, we sold out last night. We sold out tonight. Sold out tomorrow night. Like, yeah, what's your point? So this is my clip 9.
It was a great comic. It was Tosh, I think. They were like, people think I've changed. Yeah, I have changed, and I'm better. And he's like, and I never liked who I was before, and now I'm getting better, and I like this guy. But like,
That's a great angle for him too.
oh,
It's totally
so
him.
yeah. But it's they want to like, they want. I don't know. It's a weird thing.
I don't know. You can't. Here's the thing, though. You can't go forward in any way in life going like, I hope that everybody is cool with every step and choice that I make right now.
Yeah, right, yeah.
You're not going to please them.
No.
The people that are really upset that you've changed, like, okay, let them be
No,
upset.
but you can find them and kill them.
You can. Yeah.
I mean,
I
if you're
wish
with
you-
the Illuminati
I
people,
wish you
where
could
would
Yeah,
kill
that's
people?
true.
The three of us.
I would love to kill people.
What? You would love to kill people?
Yeah, that's another Bird thing that he does. But they're missing the point on purpose, it seems like.
Yeah, no, they're really playing dumb. We know what's going on. And Jimmy's saying that he, his sense of humor is exactly the same. No, Jimmy, you can't say that Trump is the only candidate you find humor in. Biden is such a wealth of comedy opportunity right now.
Right. No shit. So if you do go to the comments and you run off a lot of the good ones on there, it's very funny because people in the comments are like, this is the only reason why I'm watching this video, to read these comments. This comment's the only thing that's working for me on this. Like, people slammed this episode of Two Bears, One Cave. They were not fans of it.
One guy said, guys, please stop hating on Jimmy Kimmel, ... without me.
Yeah, that one is great.
And then, people were pointing out, too, did Jimmy ever apologize for slandering your friend who jump-started both of your careers, as in Joe Rogan? Of course, there were a lot of Joe Rogan comments.
Yeah, as you would think there would be, because this guy was talking about horse paste, just like, CNN or something. You're like, Jimmy, come on.
Yeah, no, it's pathetic. Hey, by the way, Bert mentioned something about carrying bags of Zyn around, and I know Andrew Schultz is always talking about Zyn. Are tons of people taking Zyn like it's Adderall, and is Zyn that good?
It's just nicotine.
It's just nicotine, but there's been a group of bros who've really dove in on them. And
There's
like
a
to
Zyn
distribute
shortage.
them.
Are they advertising Zyn? Is that what it is? Am I just missing that part?
I would imagine.
Okay.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah, because Bert was talking about having a bag of Zyn, and the bag had sort of crushed, so it looked like a bag of cocaine, and he was showing it off, and it was actually crushed Zyn. And Andrew Schultz is taking Zyn all the time on his show, and I thought that there must be an advertiser.
Meanwhile, get your Lucy Breakers at lucy.co/Drew.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the only one you need. Speaking of Andrew Schultz, I've been watching the European Cup, and I was with some friends, and everyone was making
been
fun
great.
of the hairstyles of the German national team. I'm like, what's that any more ridiculous than Andrew Schultz?
No, it's the worst.
Oh God, they do look like Andrew Schultz here.
They do, I know.
It's fucking
I was
hilarious.
just like, oh, that is embarrassing.
Oh man.
Did you bring a couple Woke Dad cuts?
Of course I did, because I want to hear the song.
Of course, yeah. We have to play the Woke Dad song.
Oh shit!
Brandon.
Sorry.
Sleep at the wheel.
I would do anything in my power to keep him happy, healthy, and safe. The name that they would call their superhero was I stand up against injustice, standing up for what's right. Dress up and have fun. I called him out on his bad behavior, homophobia, transphobia. It's the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen in my life. I create safe spaces for kids. I have 2 queer kids myself. Kids in the trans community. Sometimes it just takes me correcting people. Homophobia, transphobia. I'm my kid's superhero. Trying to make the world a better place. LGBTQI, LGBTQI, LGBTQI.
I really love the punch effects on transphobia. Boom!
Yeah. Who are we giving credit to for that again?
That is the Detroit Dabbling Machine.
Okay. I
And
know
he's-
that he's put together a few things. I want to play them on WATP tomorrow, so if you don't mind.
No. He's dabbling up a storm. He loves the Dabbleverse, and he did the Goodfellas,
The Goodfellas one is fantastic. I love that one.
and the Personality song is really good too.
Yeah, we're going
he's-
to play both those, so thanks. I'm stealing those from you, Drew.
He hustled hard on those songs. He really got some great drops, and that really takes some work.
Well, I will say that if you watch any Woke Dad video, you can find pretty much the same ridiculous things. Because here's an example. This is a very recent video. He put it out yesterday, and he asks if you can figure out what kind of parent you are. Let's see what kind of parent you are.
What if I told you that I could tell what type of parent you are based on how you respond to this scenario? Would you be willing to give this a try?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and give this a try. Imagine for a second that one of your kids came to you and they said, Mom, Dad, I'm transgender. Without thinking about it too much, without thinking about anything else, what would you say to them? What would be your first response? What would be your gut instinct? Okay, now that I've given you a few seconds to think about it, and you've probably even responded in the comment section at this point, let me remind you of the past that you had with your child, how much love you've shared with them. And I want you to think about any time at which you promised them unconditional love. Did your answer change that? Did the way that you reacted towards your child change that? Did you really show them unconditional love? Or did your love come with conditions? Did it change your mind?
What are you talking about?
I got to tell you, there's nothing harder than raising kids, and there's nothing more annoying than someone telling you what a great fucking parent they are, because you know that kid's going to stick it up their ass one of these days.
In his scenario, if that happened, wouldn't you think most parents would go, yeah, because I've seen you, dressing the part and kind of going that way, and we've been to the doctor. Yeah, they don't come out of the blue like that. It's fucking ridiculous.
Well, I realize this is like one of the dumb examples people give, but what if your 14-year-old came to you and said they're going to get a tattoo? Would you be like, well, I love you unconditionally, so whatever you want to do?
No, the answer would be no, you're not.
Yeah, I want to get a face tattoo about Satan. Like, let's think about that.
Yeah.
Let's sleep on it.
Yeah.
Let's give that a few minutes.
Shouldn't he drop in occasionally some horrible failure he's had as a parent?
No, he does because he doesn't have any, Drew.
Just for balance.
Nobody is a perfect fucking parent, and
He
these
is.
kids aren't perfect either.
He is.
I don't care how trans they are, and I know that's as close to perfect as you can get, but just saying.
Drew, you're crazy. Both of his kids are part of the LGBTQIA plus community. Well, you're supposed to do better than that? What are you talking
I know.
about?
No,
Wow.
I know. It's close to perfect, but not perfect.
All right, so
It's their behavior that he's taught them that makes them perfect.
obviously he's been getting a lot of eyeballs lately. There were I didn't pull these videos, but there are videos of him responding to the haters and stuff like that. But what I'm excited about, because he is getting a lot of people watching him, is he's starting to put production into the videos now. I've never seen this before. But when I mean, it's like a music bed. This is great.
This video is for anyone who needs a safe place right now, because sometimes the world can be a little overwhelming. The news that we see right in front of us, well, it can be hard to take. Right now I sit in the gardens to my art studio, and this art studio is designed around supporting people in marginalized communities. When it opens to the public, it's going to be a real safe place for a lot of people.
Like who?
But right now, it's going to be a safe place for everyone.
Oh, good.
Just because I say it supports people in marginalized communities doesn't mean it doesn't support everyone. Everyone has an opportunity to feel safe here, as long as they can be respectful and kind towards other people. The gardens are stunning, amazing, a marvel of pollinators and plants and flowers and insects. Butterflies are everywhere, and the wind whips through the trees in a soothing sound. The birds have found home here as well. They know where they can come to eat and rest and feel safe.
Birds love trans too?
It's safe
not
for
only
everybody,
this
Drew,
space,
birds included.
But you need it too. So take it in. Enjoy it. Remember that the world is bigger than any one of our problems.
You ugly.
And you'll be okay.
I love it when people in nature tell us how wonderful nature is on their phone so they can post it. It's like, turn off your fucking phone then, enjoy it, and leave me alone.
He's so deep, though, Mark.
Jesus Christ.
That is so deep. He talks so much about safe space.
bullshit.
I'm convinced that when I'm out in public, I should constantly see members of the LGBTQI community just surrounded by people taunting them and yelling at them, but I never see that. Am I missing it?
No, they're in their safe space.
I see them. So I live in New York State, and they're being dragged by pickup trucks up and down the road. It's crazy around here.
I just have to look around.
It's so ridiculous. All right. I have one more video on here. It's a little bit longer, but there's a pretty good payoff at the end. So apparently, Woke Dad is having his MLK Jr. moment here.
Oh.
He is also having a dream.
Dreams. Like anyone who will listen, I tell them about my dreams because of
God,
that,
it's
because my
annoying.
willingness to openly share my dreams to the world, the things that I really want to come true. I've been able to start an incredible business, a mobile coffee shop.
Travel around the world?
I built this complete and total trailer all the way out, and people love it. They love what I offer. They love coming to see me. And my next dream, the thing that I'm working on now,
Fiction house?
this art studio.
I love that he goes, I have this mobile coffee shop. People love it. Except for the guy who threw the coffee bag at me through the window. The person who grabbed a handful of nickels and chucked them at me. All right, I've had a couple run-ins.
What about remember the guy that laid rubber all over the place?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. The guy who got out of his truck and started peeing on it. Other than that, people love the coffee here.
Dream, the thing that I'm working on now, this art studio. This art studio is going to support kids in marginalized communities, kids like my kids who are part of the LGBTQI community, but also kids that are part of the Black community and the indigenous community and the immigrant community, and kids who need accessibility tools, anybody who needs a safe space to just not be judged or bullied,
I'm not
to just
allowed.
be able to create and heal. That's what this space is about. Because I've told everyone about my dream, because I keep talking about my dream, I keep coming across amazing new people who are willing to help. Because of that, this place is getting a new roof within the next week, which, you know, it's raining now, so good thing it's getting a new roof, right? Because of that, a horticulture specialist showed up on Thursday from an Ivy League college to assess the gardens because those are part of this beautiful space. Because of that, someone from the ADA office is talking to me about possible grants to get accessibility tools and a ramp and accessible doors and accessible bathrooms. Because of that, people have donated to the GoFundMe. Because of that, people have purchased things off the Amazon wish list. And because of that, this place is going to happen. Now, I have a lot of work to do. I set a deadline for myself in November. I really want to be able to open by November because I think the election in November is going to put a lot of people in a really bad headspace, and I want to be able to be an open, safe space, a place where they know they can come to feel safe. But that means I have a lot of work to do. Live up to your dreams. Share them with everyone. It'll pay off.
Why are you gay?
Stop telling me what to do. And by the way, screwed again, Carl. You, me, Mark Brannon, screwed again. We're not involved.
We're not involved at all, even though I could probably use that ramp. I was born club-footed. I love that Trump is already living rent-free in this guy's head. He hasn't even won the election yet. Man, that debate really fucked a lot of people up, didn't it?
Oh, my God. Everybody. Everybody but me and you and Mark and Brandon. He must
What's this
hate
guy
being
going to
white.
do when his kids grow up and live on their own?
And he doesn't have a grift. He doesn't have a grift anymore.
Yeah, he's going to have a really tough time. And he's going to be a bad empty nester, I'll tell you that.
Nice getting all those people to do the free stuff for you, too, at your art studio.
Do we know what his GoFundMe is at, by the way? I bet it's... I hate to even think about it. Do we know
I have not looked it up, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we should... Brandon, can you look up Daniel Alexander GoFundMe?
Is that what he would put it under?
I bet he's getting grants up his ass, too.
I found it right here.
Yeah,
and he is at 4780. He's looking for $10,000. He's about halfway there.
God, who are these sacks of shit giving him money?
Now, wait a sec. This is the art studio one, right?
Yes.
Okay, because he's got another one, too.
What?
The Pay It Forward Fund.
What?
Yeah, right there. Pay It Forward Fund. See it? Daniel Alexander. It's raised $60 of its $500 goal.
What does that even mean, pay it forward? What's he trying to do?
This is a Pay It Forward Fund. All the proceeds will go to offering kindness within his community. So it's however he sees fit to provide kindness.
Oh, great.
I got to start a pay it forward fund. That's pretty funny. I like that.
It's like human. It's the human fund, right? Money helping people.
Yeah. What if he sees fit to put it in his pocket? And by the way, when he gets to 10 grand for the art studio, who owns the art studio that came from the GoFundMe? Does Daniel Alexander own it?
It's a great question.
That's a good point. Yeah, I'm
I have a
curious.
feeling he might own it. I don't think the owner's going to be GoFundMe.
Look at that picture for the.
Just saying. I know that's.
Yeah, way to make it about yourself, asshole. Why not show a photo of like the studio, inside of the studio or the outside?
Or before and then what you want it to look like, so I know what I'm donating
paintings.
towards.
I know he's been showing off paintings from these kids. Like he just has a stupid face on there.
It is all about him, though. It's funny. It doesn't say like if there's a 501c3, a charity, or anything that you're donating to. It's just you're donating to the art studio.
By the way, a number of people have told me that they have been blocked by WOTP. So our people are finding him, and he is finding them.
Well, he mentioned on his show or on his TikTok not too long ago that there's a conservative podcast that's been talking about it. I don't know if that's your show or my show. I'm not sure which show. Is this conservative podcast?
Well, who are these socials really has been with him the longest, but
Yes.
That's Drew's way of saying it's your fault, Carl. It's not us.
Well, it's funny to me though, like when somebody has a political angle, if you don't like them, you're automatically the other side. It's like you don't have to be conservative to not like woke dad. He's a narcissist.
Yeah.
no, it has nothing to do with politics. No, he's
I don't
so
like him.
full of shit. He's such a blowhard. And I mean, anybody who has kids, honestly, listening to someone tell you what a fucking great parent they are, what could be more annoying? It's
Also,
horrible.
can you pull up that page again, Mark? I just realized something.
Yeah,
The renovations for an art studio for kids GoFundMe.
Yeah.
This is not what his facial hair looks like. He did something to make it look like he could actually grow facial hair like a man.
It almost looks like it's an AI photo or an
There's a filter. There's definitely a filter.
an avatar or something.
He's
Very
acting like he's in
interesting.
the third round of the Stanley Cup playoffs with that. That's not what he looks like.
Carl, how are tickets selling for October 25th at the Magic Bag?
Drew, we've sold out VIPs already.
All right.
The tickets are flying. I'm very excited about this. We're coming back to the Magic Bag October 25th, and we're going to have the regular crew of people coming out. You got Ted Williams
Yes,
again?
Ted Williams is in. The date is saved.
I'm so excited about that. I still play the drop every episode. I've been telling people in the back to shut the fuck up.
He really does have a great voice. There's no way around it. And if you
But he
need
was so funny last time because if you remember, he wanted to be on stage the entire time. He couldn't wait to get on stage.
Yeah.
And at the end of the show, we're saying, thanks, everyone. Thanks for coming out. He goes, hold on. I got a couple jokes. Like, okay. He came up and told these two corny jokes.
don't be shocked if he
he's
has a couple more
fantastic.
this year.
WATP.
So tickets are available for October 25th at the Magic Bag. And then you've got, what's going on, this Dabble Mania?
DabbleCon.
DabbleCon.
DabbleCon 2 is in Rochester, August 16th and 17th. So you go to WATPlive.com for those tickets. That's going to be a lot of fun. Live podcast, a roast battle, not a roast battle, but a roast that we're doing, hosted by Bob Levy, and the Dabby Awards, second annual Dabby Awards ceremony. So definitely looking forward to that.
And you never know who's going to show up, right?
John claims.
Ooh.
Chuck is gonna be there. Also, guys, I'm coming to Detroit in
Yeah.
a few weeks.
I'm going to the show too, Carl. Have you got tickets yet?
Corey Feldman and Limp Bizkit, but mostly Corey Feldman.
I'm coming to Detroit to see Corey Feldman. Was it Pine Knob?
Yes.
We're going to, yes. You're going to that too, Drew? I'm so
Absolutely. No,
excited.
we'll definitely hook something up and have to do the show live.
I think Brandon might be going as well.
Excellent.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think I'm going to buy a few tickets and see who wants to go because
Okay.
I feel like that'd be a great night of fun.
So I got to figure out my arrangements. We should probably do a show from your studio the day after to discuss the show, right?
That's fine. Yeah, let's do that.
So I'll probably hang through that Wednesday then.
Yeah, I'll contact you after the show. I got a couple things for you.
Okay.
All right.
And then last thing, the most recent episode, you guys were talking about it on the show on Sunday. We did Hustler Spirit, which is a podcast features Fleece Johnson. If you don't know who Fleece Johnson is, boy, is this guy a character.
He's really something.
He spent decades, most of his life, in prison, and he really enjoyed the booty that he would get in prison. I don't know why he's out. He seemed to really have a great time. He treated it like it was a gay cruise. Like he was just like everyone was down to pound, and he was into it. So,
But I'm confused, Carl. Is he gay, or does he say he just adjusted to being with dudes from being in prison?
he literally cites biblical text when he tells you that God did not want man to lay with man and how horrible it is. Meanwhile, he's bragging about fucking over 60 dudes in prison.
Yeah.
It's very confusing.
The easy way or the hard way?
Yes, right. Most people chose the easy way. It's terrifying. The show Boondocks, which was a comic strip and then later became a cartoon, actually featured him because he was on this MSNBC show back when he was in prison decades ago and talking about how he has his way with the booty, and he became the booty warrior on Boondocks. And it's so funny when he talks about it. People would go into prison and be like, oh my gosh, you're Booty Warrior. I know who you are. And he thought they were joking with him. He had no idea there was a cartoon with a character that was based on him.
All right, we have a clip of Fleece.
Oh, I can pull one up.
Oh, did you send a clip of Fleece, Carl?
I didn't. I just wanted to promote it.
Oh, man, it was funny.
I actually had some clips we didn't get to that I was going to bring, but then we had so much to talk about with Stuttering John and Jimmy Kimmel and Woke Dad. I
we can
figured.
come back to Fleece. No, that was
it was
great stuff,
overkill.
though. That last episode was really funny. And what are you doing this week, by the way?
So this week, tomorrow, I'm doing a show. You might appreciate this, Drew. We're doing a show called The Official Podcast, and it's a podcast that is brand new, but it's two social media influencers. They both have a big following on TikTok and Instagram. So the very first episode out of the gate, there's like 500,000 views on it already.
Wow.
I knew you'd roll your eyes.
It's so deflating.
It's so annoying.
Well,
and they suck at podcasting, so it'll be fun.
At least they have nowhere to go but down, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Wasn't it an official podcast before? This isn't related to the other one?
Right. So the official, that's what's weird about this. You'd think they'd look this up because there's already been a podcast that's been established for a long time called The Official Podcast. My buddy Kaya Orson, who's been on WTP a bunch of times, is one of the hosts of that show. So when someone suggested this, they put it in our Discord. I went, The Official Podcast, what's this? And clicked on it. It's just like this guy and this girl talking about nonsense. Like, okay.
Well, we'll be listening. And again, October 25, Magic Bag. Carl, have a great week.
Thanks, guys. Good to talk to you.
I'm not stupid. You are.
I'm not stupid. You are stupid, John. Fuck you.
Lady
I'm
K,
not stupid.
I'm not stupid.
What?
You are.
No, I'm not.
He got
Lady
you,
K,
man.
I'm not stupid. You are.
You are.
No, you are.
You are.
See you, Carl.
Never ends. Oh, man, John.